Hello, my parasocial besties. Welcome back to my channel. This is part of a series that apparently I'm doing now that I am calling Please Log Off. Today, I've decided that I'm going to talk about Chris Olsen. So, preface, initially this was going to be about that Chapel Roan video that came out of her basically being like, can you stop assuming that just because I'm famous that you have the right to ask for a picture or bother me when I'm just out living my best life? Like, there are a lot of videos where she's clearly uncomfortable with people coming up and talking to her. Like, she had some weird experience with a Pilates instructor. She's had some experiences well, being famous for such a short time, but I think that's a conversation for another time. Maybe I'll do another video where we talk about why it might not be the best thing to actually get famous like that, and maybe there's something to be said about taking a minute to get there, especially so young. But that's a conversation for another time, because as I was looking for people to talk about when this was initially going to be an episode about leave people alone in public, they're not your property or your right, just because they're famous and you know them parasocially doesn't mean that like you know them and you should be invited to their 29th birthday party type thing. But no, we scooted away from that pretty quick. Now we're going to be talking about Chris Olsen and the way he is just popping off and getting real messy online right now, or at least he was last week. From what I could find, he hasn't gotten online again, which warms my heart. Please stay offline. But we're going to talk about why I think that in just a moment. Quickly, let's run through what has happened so far. So, long story short, what had happened to Chris was when he was about 19, he had been an addict for a few years. The way I understood it was drugs and alcohol, but because I'm not positive about the specific, I'm just going to say an addict. So he was struggling with addiction, wound up going to rehab. Good for him. Snaps. That's perfect. He was very fortunate to be able to afford to go through rehab and get out the other side. Still damaged, but not addicted and able to try and combat his own demons with more clarity. Do you know what I mean? He gets out. He's still fairly rattled from the whole stint of being an addict. I can't imagine that that does good things for your mental health. I think that, especially because he was so young, it probably did a good amount of damage to his brain. And already just at that age, at 19, you know, you're so young and just, quite frankly, dumb as hell. Hold on, my partner just came home and my dog's about to go bananas. Hi, sorry, I'm back. Also, I knocked over my ring light. Anyway, so as I was saying, he was living his best young life a little too hard. Accidentally got addicted to some substance or another, got out of rehab, started losing weight, and then he got really confident and he started posting pictures of himself on Instagram, like thirst trap, fitness, gym stuff, whatever. You earned that body, you show it off. Even if you didn't earn your body, show it off. If you think it's cute, show it off. I don't care. So he did. And then, because he started getting a small little ounce of clout, there were other photographers who were like, sick, can we work together? Because I think it could be helpful for both of us. They would collaborate. He would basically tag them in his pictures and get them work, whatever. I don't need to explain how collaboration works. The point is they collaborated. So one day some guy got a hold of Chris and was like, hey, I'd love to take your pictures. Chris goes, oh, sick. So he goes to wherever this guy's going to take his picture, and the guy whips out some contract. And Chris, being 19, naive, probably still a little brain frazzled, and clearly not really doing mentally super well. At least that's kind of how it sounded to me during the video. He was saying that he was feeling uncomfortable and had already been SA'd at one point in his life, and so he was feeling some vibes that he wasn't really loving. But being 19 and vulnerable, he signed it and ignored his intuition, as most 19-year-olds do. Stuff happened, and basically he ended up having to submit to the fact that the guy was able to distribute Chris's less than clothed photos. Obviously, I don't know what the contract said. I don't know if it actually gave permission to distribute those. I imagine it must have, but I don't know what it said. All Chris said is that the photos got distributed. It sounds like they'd already been getting distributed for a little while, but for some reason, this particular round, or whatever the comment was on the video that started this, I don't know if like that sent him over the edge. I really couldn't figure out why all of a sudden it was becoming a thing. It always should have been a thing, quite frankly, because that's someone's nude and body autonomy that was just taken from them, but you know, just a thought. Anyway, I'm not really going to give away too much of Chris's video. It's his story, not mine. I just wanted to give a little context to the situation. The video is about 3.5 minutes. If you're interested, go watch it. It's a heavy watch for sure. There are a lot of tears and it pulls at the heartstrings. At least it did for me. Anyway, by the end of the video, he explicitly says, stop sharing my pictures.
But today I am trying to say no. I'm saying I don't want these things to circulate anymore, and I hope that's enough.
He blames himself a lot throughout the video, which I think is really sad. And it becomes a little more clear to me that that's just kind of where he's at mentally right now, is what it seems like, is he's either going to take full responsibility or give it fully away. Like, there's really no black and white with it, from my perception. That's just me. But at the end of the day, stop fucking sharing his nudes. If he's not doing it, don't do it. They're not yours. I mean, technically they're the property of that one guy's, apparently, based on the contract. But, like, don't screenshot them. If they're behind a paywall, leave them behind a paywall. I don't think it's really ever going to stop, but I think it's a shitty thing to do, and I think you're a shitty person if you do it. Sorry. So let's talk about the picture that he uploaded. It was just him crying with text. So I'm going to read it for you, and then we're going to friggin' discuss it and break it down a little bit. So one commenter posted on his original video, "We love you, Angel." I think he was just thinking about this and decided to make this a soapbox to jump off of. The point that he was making didn't really land in relation to what was posted, but I guess you gotta use any sort of comment to get your point across. There were plenty of hate comments he could have picked from. I noticed he picked the happiest one, but in times of need, right? I guess you gotta keep yourself motivated and uplifted somehow. Chris responds, "This is a line that's been heard over and over again since people have been able to have platforms, but I'm truly just a person. These past few months have felt like I'm back in middle school being bullied by all the kids around me, and there's no escape, and this time I'm supposed to somehow be grateful for the bullies because they're the ones giving me my life. I haven't really felt like I wanted to die like this before I went to rehab, but anyone going through this would feel the same way. This is not me wanting to SH or anything. I'm just sharing where I'm at mentally. Y'all, I could not survive like this." So a few things. I don't think that there's truly anybody telling you to be grateful for the people dragging you down. And if they are, they're fucking dumb and you just ignore them because they're stupid. Again, I said this in the last video, like, you're allowed to feel your feelings, big or small. Feel your big feelings, okay? But stop doing what you're doing. Just log off, hence the series title. Like, you can see part of the caption, and he's basically alluding to the fact that I'm still here because I just want to entertain everybody. And it's like, that's so great, but then turn your comments off. Who cares if people say, "Oh, he's being a pussy. He doesn't want to read our comments"? No, he doesn't. Why should he? You guys are being mean. You've lost the privilege of commenting on this human's life because you can't keep it together, okay? Leave him alone. But also, baby Chris, get offline. Sorry, I don't agree with you. I don't think that there's anything wrong with going offline. I don't think that you need to be online. I think that this has a lot to do with income, the same way I did with Tasha and Veruca. I think that that's why they won't fucking get offline. And that's gotta be hard. It's, to me, kind of a similar way to when you're just really going through it. Say your grandma died. You get like a week of bereavement at most places, and after that, they just expect you to sit down, shut up, and do your job like normal. No, I'm busy. Someone just died. Let me have my moment. But for some reason, people don't allow people online that same courtesy. Like, if they're going through something, it's demanding attention, demanding the creator's life and content, and that's not fair. But do you have no savings? I'm not here to judge you financially. I fucking suck with money. So, like, I am not one to tell you how to live your life, sir. But do you not have enough of a cushion to just take a beat, go to therapy, go on vacation, go to fucking intensive mental health? I've been on multiple grippy sock vacations. It is what it is. It's better than SH, which I know he says he wasn't gonna do, but it feels manipulative to bring up, which we'll get to in a second. But at the end of the day, people are going to have their opinions. You're allowed to have your opinions. We're allowed to have our opinions. We're allowed to think you're being messy, and you're allowed to think that you're a victim. In some cases, you are. In other cases, I think you're victimizing yourself. I don't really with the idea of putting all of this heavy stuff online. There is for sure a time and a place for discussing mental health. Absolutely. There are channels dedicated to it. I think there should be. And I don't even think you need to be a full channel dedicated to mental health. People have mental health problems who don't have a mental health platform. Who fucking cares? Talk your shit. The thing is, now is not the time to be talking about how you can't live or survive in response to the hate. It feels like a cop-out, like, well, I said I want to die, and if you continue to bully me, and it just so happens that I die, my blood's on your hands. I'm not saying that is or isn't what he's doing. I'm just saying it's mighty suspicious when it's not just having casually brought up in conversation or a video that he intentionally posted to be like, hey, this is who I am, this is where I come from, whatever, like a lot of creators do. I feel like a lot of people do it, especially who have sought therapy, have sought rehab, have sought mental health inpatient treatment, you know? And I think it is important because it really does help to not isolate people and to show that you're not alone, for sure. I personally feel manipulated reading this, specifically the part where he says, I haven't felt like I wanted to die like this since before I went to rehab, but anyone going through this would feel the same way. But that's not true. Sorry, I just got so mad. Fucking shuck my camera about it. But that's not true. It's simply not. And don't assume that everybody's gonna feel that way. Don't turn it into like, well, everyone would respond this way. Everyone would have a meltdown. Everybody would publicly freak out, because no, they wouldn't. And I feel like justifying how you're responding only makes it feel okay that you're responding that way. Do you know what I mean? Keep saying it. Like I said in the last video, your anger is valid. Your embarrassment, your frustration, the shame, those are all valid. I don't love that you feel shame, but I could understand how you could take that upon yourself. Do you know what I mean? But also, don't rationalize your current behavior just because you're mad. Feel your big feelings, but respond appropriately. And responding appropriately isn't basically telling people, at least based on my perception, hey, so I'm like super sad and I feel like I want to unalive. Maybe not myself, but like if I got hit by a bus, so it goes. So if you guys could kindly not yell at me, that would be super helpful. Like, babe, no one has to yell at you. Just get offline. People can yell at you all day and night, just get offline. You won't have to read it, because I would venture to guess that people in his real life aren't doing this and aren't saying anything. So if the people in your real life are the ones who really matter and you do understand that they love you and they think you're perfect in most ways, you know, and they have your back, who fucking cares even what I'm saying? Who cares? Don't listen to me. Everyone else, please do. I really need it. But Chris, those are just my opinions. Everyone's gonna have one. You know what they say about opinions and assholes, yeah? No? But my opinion shouldn't shape your life. Nobody's opinion should shape your life. People have opinions, and some are valid. Some criticisms are helpful and constructive. Most aren't. Most people are just being little haters. Most people are being just rude because they're brave behind a keyboard, but you're giving them a lot of ammunition, and I don't know if you realize that or not.
No, bitch, I'm not okay. If people said shit like this to you every day, neither would you. Not only do y'all tell me to kill myself, basically, you've leaked photos of me. You send them to me as fucking blackmail. Obviously not gonna unblur it, but this is exactly what happened here. Telling me I'm always gonna be ugly and then asking to fuck. Who wouldn't go fucking crazy when this is what I receive every day of my life? Knows how to use his holes to get invited to events. I would if I could, bitch. I've always wanted to fuck my way to the top. Why is this Chris Olsen kid everywhere? Because I keep getting invited because I know how to use my holes to get there. Chris Olsen, get away from them. Why? What'd he do? Annoy me. You look like a fucking joy with those eyebrows.
Okay, so there's a lot to unpack here. First things first that I would like to address is the same point. Gonna beat this horse right into the ground, and I'm sorry about that, but also I'm not that sorry. I feel like I keep sounding like I'm like, yeah, just bully people, fuck it, who cares? It's their responsibility, you deal with your own emotions. No. I don't believe that you should fucking harm anyone, physically, emotionally. Just fucking let people live their life. Leave them alone. It's not that hard. However, it's hard to say this without sounding awful, so I hope you understand what I'm saying. But like, you signed up for it, you know? And it's kind of the way that Chapel was saying, like, I know I signed up for it, but that doesn't give you the right. Same thing. I don't think it gives you the right to be a motherfucker to someone because you signed up for it. My point is, expect it. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. I think it's insane to be like, well, I'm not going to get that hate. Other people will, but I'm not. Like, no, girl, you're probably going to get the same amount of hate. It is what it is. That being said, I think it takes a specific kind of person to flourish on the internet, and I don't know if right now you're that kind of person. Yes? No? I don't know. I hope that's not a mean thing to say, because I'm gonna say it anyway. I don't mean it in a mean way. I just mean, like, maybe get your mental health in order before hopping back online. Truly, I just don't think now is the time or place to be bringing this up. It feels like he's just reactive right now. And he says he doesn't care, and I really hope he doesn't when he does come back. I really hope that this was a move. This is a PR move, maybe. I don't know. I really hope. I can't imagine it would be. But, like, dude, you're gonna have to deal with this at some point. Like, you really did that. And based on the next video, I get a little nervous that he's gonna come back and be like, you guys made me do it. You guys made me leave and ran me off the internet, and now I'm back and you're making me the villain. No, babe. You made yourself the villain. And I have the receipts. so. And again, to be clear, I don't think he's a bad guy because he got bullied. I don't think he's a bad guy in general. I think he's being a dumbass and responding out of emotion. But like, I don't think he himself is stupid. I just think he's acting really fucking dumb right now. And to that point, this conversation should have been happening before. I get not wanting to give the haters attention, and at the end of the day, they're just a small part of your life. They're 10% of your life. If your audience is only 10% of your life, let's say, and this hate is just 10% of your life, it's just online, but even if 50% of your life is lived in the real world and 50% is on the internet and it's just so cruel and hateful there, maybe knock it down to 40%, get a good 60-40 mix going, and just keep 60% of your life more positive. Presumably, your life in the real world isn't 100% bad. You know, it's probably pretty good. And your online life is probably pretty okay. I think it's a lot more toxic in the online world because people don't know how to keep their little fingies to themselves and really love being keyboard warriors. I just don't think this is the time or place to be having this discussion. This conversation should have happened a long time ago, not just like, well, you guys are being really mean and also distributing my nudes and also bullying me online, and I really wish it would fucking stop and also feel bad for me. It's coming off now as, you guys pushed me to this and this is the cherry on top, and now I'm gonna go absolutely apeshit crazy bananas feral online and make it everybody else's problem. Also,
You look like a fucking joy with those eyebrows.
rude. Leave that poor woman alone. Not poor woman, I mean she kind of started it, but like, you just said
I don't like bullies, and being mean to people online is wrong.
and then immediately followed it up by being like, your eyebrows are stupid. Okay, and yours probably were too at some point. Or you had a dumb hairline or a dumb facial hair patch. I don't care. Everyone has some dumb thing that they're going through. Maybe she's in her bad eyebrow era a little late, okay? We all go through one. Leave her alone. But like, if you're gonna bitch and moan about people bullying you online, returning that literal same energy, in no world is gonna fix it. In what situation have you ever been in an argument with someone where you retaliating in the same mean way has ever gone well? The best way to knock the wind out of people's sails is just agree or fucking walk away, dude.
I've been through family trauma. I've been through emotional trauma. I've been essayed. Some of this shit online is worse than all of that combined. You all are fucking monsters. Obviously not the people who have stood by me and who have supported me, but the people who are on here bullying. It is so normal to be casually mean now. Everyone is such a casual fucking bully, and it's insane. And you better never complain about bullying in your life, because you drive someone like me who has been through so much, and it's gotten to the other side of it to want to re-destroy myself. No.
This part really fucking pissed me off. I'm gonna have to just kind of rant a little bit here and just chop this into a million pieces because I have so many thoughts. No, don't fucking blame us because you are feeling out of control. People did not help you. People said things and did things that allowed you to feel this way. Again, your feelings are so valid, but do not say that anybody drove you here because nobody did. I'm sorry, but if you choose to SH, if you choose to do any sort of harm to yourself, that's on you. And it's really hard to not sound cruel when saying that because I get it. Online bullying can push people to end it. It's just the general principle of blaming other people for your actions that gets to me. I'm not saying, again, oh God, I can't say it enough. I'm not saying you shouldn't feel this way. I'm saying stop making everybody else responsible for your actions. If you choose to end it, at the end of the day, that is your choice. Nobody is forcing you to do that. Nobody is literally driving you crazy. You are driving your fucking self crazy by choosing to continue to engage. Like, I feel as though something that you might learn in intensive trauma therapy if one were to go twice a week. Could never be me. But if you were to go to trauma therapy, perhaps you might learn about keeping your side of the street clean. Meaning, people don't have control over your life. People's side of the street are dirty and ugly and gross because they're dirty and ugly and gross, or at least feeling that way. So they're gonna throw their shit to your side of the road and be like, suffer with me. I don't want to clean my own street, so I'd rather dirty yours instead because it's looking mighty nice, and that really pisses me off. So they're gonna dirty your side of the street, and you have choices at that point. You can choose to kick and scream and light them on fire, Molotov cocktail them, throw that on their side of the street, have a meltdown. You know what I mean? Or you can choose to just doop doop, sweep it off, keep it moving. Because your side of the street is clean. There's nothing for you to do. These people will say the things, get a rise, feel good for 5 seconds, feel good, and then completely forget about you. I guarantee you that people are commenting on your shit, calling you ugly, calling you stupid, calling you whatever. I don't think he's ugly. He just keeps saying that people call him ugly, by the way, for the record. Anyway, point being, people can say that, but I am like 99% sure that they typed it and then kept it moving to the next person they felt like harassing. They don't fucking remember you. With peace and love, you are not that important, you know? Like, you're really not. You were the last thing that they're gonna think about during the day. They thought about you because your face was on their phone and they went, ugh, you're annoying me, you're too loud, you're too ugly, you're too this, you're too that. And maybe they didn't even think that. Maybe they were just being a hater because they're genuinely jealous. Like, there is something to be said about people being little demons because they're mad that you get to be loud and get famous, but when they're loud, they get told to shut up. So just consider that, please, that it's the loudest ones and the most rude ones who are probably dealing with their own shit, and boy, get off the internet too. Like, you little assholes need to get it together. Stop being mean to people, because there's no excuse, but there's a reason, and there's an other side to this that he might not be considering because it's too hard, it's too fresh, it's too in your face, and I'm sure he's just mega mad triggered over the whole SA thing and his nudes being leaked. That shit's triggering, but because it's triggering, shut up until you have something to say that is constructive and helpful for you. It doesn't have to be for other people, but like, this can't feel good to go on this tirade, because how much anxiety do you think you're gonna have now coming back to the internet? Like, you just shit in the punch bowl and then walked out butt ass naked. Like, you made a scene, my love, and now you're gonna have to come back and figure it out. I don't think you have to like fix anything necessarily. I think there is something to be said for being like, haha, had a meltdown. Anyway, who cares? You don't need to explain yourself. You did enough explaining. I think we all get it. It's good. We're chilling. We don't need to know, you know? So we're gonna watch this last video. I'm reading through my notes right now, and a lot of these points have kind of already made. So there's just one that I really want to harp on, and it's the fucking glam bot thing. Like, to me, that one's just such small potatoes. I could see how it could be annoying to him, but like, that is such a weird hill to die on, is your glam bot. So let's talk about it. Here's the thing. Nobody is hot to everybody. Sorry. You're just gonna have to get right with that, is the thing. Do you think you're cute? Do you think you're attractive? Yes? Perfect. No? Okay, what can we do to work on that? What can we do to help that self-esteem? Not slap a band-aid on it, get you a perm, get you a bleach, get you fucking a new set of eyebrows. You know what I mean? Like, you could get an 8-pack. And that will not fix how you feel. It'll fix for a short term, I think. But everybody, even the most confident people, aren't 100% confident. Maybe they're 98%. But like, that 2% is really impactful, especially for people who have such a big ego of themselves. I imagine that would be really draining to have to deal with any sort of hate when you're in your 2% feeling like shit era. I think it's really mean that people come online and bully other people for their looks, especially things that are a lot more difficult to change. Like, people call me fat. Okay, let me hop my ass on a treadmill. That's not happening, girl. I didn't get fat for no reason. Like, I'm not going on the fucking treadmill. And that's none of your business. If right now your ego's feeling a little too shattered for the internet, cool. Goodbye. You don't need to be here. I promise you, people will survive without you. And I don't mean that in a cruel way. I mean that in, you're not so important that you need to take care of other people's emotion that you don't know. If people are mad at you because you didn't post and did not entertain them and dance like a monkey for a day, dude, why is that your problem? Real talk. What are you doing? Why do you think that that's any of your fucking business? Why do you think that you're so important that you not posting has that much of an impact? Because guess what? If it does, it's not you. It's something with them. If they're so upset that you didn't post, they need to figure that out, because guess what? They don't have the right to your time or energy. So just get that out of your head right now. Stop thinking about it. It's way easier said than done. But this week of feeling like shit has now impacted you on your digital footprint for the rest of your life. The internet is forever, and now you have to take responsibility for that. I got off topic. The glam bot. So I don't think it's nice that people make compilations and they're like, worst glam bots. I didn't see anyone that said ugliest glam bots. I just saw like the worst or cringiest or most fail, but he said like ugliest, I thought. Again, I don't think he's ugly. I think he's cringy. I think I'm cringy. So like, not a shade, just an observation, you know? But that being said, it's funny. His glam bot makes me laugh because like, he was serving something. I thought it was good. I thought it was camp. I thought it was extremely funny. I thought that was the point. And I think if he had played into it like, ooh, blue steel, You know what I think if he just played into it like a funny haha and didn't get like, well, I practiced for like a week, but that's okay, then he would have been chilling. I think people would still make compilations, but I mean, you really can't stop people from being assholes, you know? And listen, I'm a firm believer in the fact that you gotta pay the cringe tax, sir. There's the cheese tax and there's the cringe tax. If you're not willing to be dumb and uncomfortable, and even if you flop a little bit with the intention to have a serve moment, but you serve flop, it happens. It's funny for the rest of us. It's really not funny for you, and I get that. But like, can you not see how it's a little bit funny? And how it's really not that deep? It wasn't that bad at the end of the day, so just like laugh and move on, man. I'm not gonna tell you how to live your life. That's just my 2 cents. You do what you need to do. Respond how you want to respond. I don't think it's that deep. And I really hope he stops making it that deep, because that can't feel good to do to yourself all the time, especially when you accidentally run across one of those. Honestly, if I could just block anything on my FYP if I were him, I would just type my name in. I'm good. I don't need to see videos about me. I'm chilling. Thank you. Anyway, the rest of the video is kind of similar to what he was already doing. I really thought I was gonna have so much more to say, but so many of his videos were so similar, and by the time I got done writing my notes, I was like, damn, I'm really just kind of repeating myself at this point. Like, that horse is well and good on its way to being smashed into glue. So I need to chill. But for my last point, for my last act, I'm calling you out, Chris Olsen, whatever your middle name is, potentially Christopher Olsen. I don't know, and I'm not really going to do a lot of research to figure it out.
Please say this shit to me in person next time you see me. Please say it to me. I want to have the conversation. I want to talk about it. I want to be able to defend myself, because all of you hiding behind these fucking ghost accounts aren't even giving me the chance to fucking talk to you. If you want to jump in the ring, let's fight. Let's play.
I did fucking comment on your video. Friend, you had all the time in the world to respond to other people and like other people's comments, but me, I'm very important. Okay? You should have seen it. I'm just kidding. But I did comment. And I was being so fucking frail, dude. If you want to sit down and talk, my platform is itty bitty baby tiny. But let's talk, because I'm not your friend. With peace and love, I really don't care about you. I care about you that you're a person. I don't fucking know you though. I don't care. So I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. But I do want to hear what you have to say. But I'm also not going to hold back. You know? The invitation is open. If you want to give this sweet little peon a time of day, you let me know. We'll set it up. Because I would love to pick your brain and know what the fuck you're thinking right now. If you disagree, I want to hear it. And I don't want to hear it because I want to be like, actually, you're wrong and this is why. I genuinely feel like it's extremely important to talk to people and share your opinions. Doesn't mean you have to sway your opinion. Doesn't mean I have to sway my opinion. But it does mean that we get to learn a little more about the way other people think, because nobody thinks the same. Even fucking twins don't think the same. So I think it's important to have conversations. I think it's important to have constructive conversations. I think we need to be really, really nice in the comments. Do not go talk to him unless it's like prompted. Don't just go fucking harass him. Leave him alone. I would say, honestly, don't even go comment anything. Like, no messages of support, no messages of tearing him down, just nothing. Because he doesn't need any reason to come online right now and check his comment section. Just fucking leave him alone. To the 400 of you here, don't add your comments. He can be 400 comments less. Other than me, because I already commented, but that's not the point. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, please. It's like super important. And I really have no other points. Okay, thanks. Bye.